Hey everybody, it's Karen with Food and Family, and my husband has been asking for a chocolate cake, and he loves the Texas sheet cake, and you've probably all heard of it, and many of you may have made it, but I'm going to be making that today, and I just wanted to show you how I do it, just to be able to spend some time with you, okay? So, we'll get started. I have got my bowl, and I'm going to put my flour. I've got 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I use white lily flour. You all know by now that's what I use. 2 cups of flour, and I'm going to add, oh, it's heavy, 2 cups of sugar, just white granulated sugar. I know I use the same measuring cup, but it's not going to hurt it. Move that out of the way. And salt, I've got 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So let's stir this up. We want it to be combined really well. And you don't want a little sugar here, a little flour here, all the salt there. Y'all have heard me talk about that before. So we're going to get that stirred up. Now, in this pan, I've got some butter that has been melting. And I've got some water boiling on the back of the stove. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. Okay, so I've got my flour and sugar mixed together. And in this saucepan here, I have got 2 sticks of butter that has melted. Now, I use salted butter. You can use unsalted. Your preference is just what I like. And to that, let me get a small whisk. I want a little whisk. I am going to add I'm referring to my recipe. And to this, I'm going to add my cocoa. And I'm going to stir that together. And we're going to let this boil about 30 seconds. Then we're going to get our hot water. I've had this boiling on the stove. And we're going to turn this off. And we're going to add our hot water to that cocoa mixture. Oh, if y'all could smell this chocolate. Now, we're going to let that boil for just a couple of more seconds. In the meantime, I've got some buttermilk, 1/2 cup of buttermilk. I've got 2 eggs. We're going to beat them up. And we're going to add this to the buttermilk. Y'all know this is going to be so good. We love this cake. My husband loves this cake. All right, and to this, we're going to add baking soda. I've got 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. We're going to stir this up. And we're going to stir it into our flour. Now then, see if we get that stirred in some. Then we're going to add our boiling chocolate and butter mixture on top of that. And we're going to stir it around, and that will help keep it from cooking and having scrambled eggs. All right, so let's stir this together. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, I've sprayed it with the non-stick, with the flour in it spray. You can probably just use regular cooking spray. And I've got my oven preheated to 350. Let's use this whisk for just a minute and make sure we got it good. I think we do. I I've got chocolate everywhere. That's okay, it'll clean up on it. We're going to pour it into our pan. Yes. Oh, it's not a thick cake, it's a sheet cake. But it's just the right size. You can cut you a big old piece of this. We're gonna make it frosting to go on it. And cut you a big old piece of this with a glass of milk or a good cup of coffee. Pretty. Now I'm gonna get this in the oven and I'm gonna bake it again. It's preheated at 350 and I'm gonna bake it for about 20 minutes. It's so thin, it doesn't take long to bake. So I'm gonna check it at 20 and make sure that I don't need to add a couple of minutes or so. And then we're gonna come back and I'm gonna show you how I make the topping that goes on this cake, okay? See you in a minute. Look at this beautiful cake. I just took it out of the oven, getting ready to make the icing. We're gonna sit that there for just a few minutes because it will not take long to make this icing. I've got some butter melting here. I've got 1 3/4 cups, 1 3/4 sticks of butter. Use real butter if you can. It really does make a difference, but if you can, that's fine too. It'll still be delicious. And I've got that melting. You may can hear it. I need to go ahead and turn it off. And I'm chopping 1/2 cup of pecans. And we're going to add this to our frosting. But I'm going to add a little bit something different to it that you don't see in most Texas sheet cakes. Or I've not seen it. You may have. You may have done it. Okay, so let's set that aside. Wow. Okay, so to our butter, I'm going to add, let me see, I'm going to add my cocoa, which is 4 heaping tablespoons. And when I say heaping, I'm doing heaping. Look at here. If you're going to do chocolate, do it right. There you go. Wow. So let's stir that in. We've turned off the heat. So next, we're going to add our milk, which is 6 tablespoons of whole milk. All right, 6 tablespoons of whole milk. Wow. And we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. Where's my teaspoon? I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. Use a really good vanilla. So I'm going to stir that in. Yeah. Now, we're going to add our powdered sugar. And I'm going to add 3½ cups of powdered sugar. I'm not going to sift it. You can if you want to. I'm just taking my measuring cup and kind of going through and fluffing it up. Yeah, all right, so let's stir this through, okay? And while our cake is warm, we're going to add this on top of our cake. Oh, this is so smooth. Now, oh my goodness. We're going to add our pecans. I didn't measure them, but I'm certain that's enough. If you want to add more, you can. If you want to add less, or just leave them out if you can't have nuts. That's still warm. So I'm going to get this cake and bring it down here. And look what I'm going to do. Miniature marshmallows. I am going to put some on top. You know what else would be good with that chocolate frosting? Add a little peanut butter to it. I love to add peanut butter to my chocolate fudge. Now, look what we're going to do. Look what we're gonna do. Look at that. Yeah, next time, stir your marshmallows in with your chocolate. That's what I should have done. They were kind of a last minute thought for me. And that's okay. As long as it comes, who cares? It's gonna taste good, right? Looky there. Oh, I want you to see this. Look there. Now, isn't that beautiful? You don't have to put marshmallows. You don't have to put that many. You can put more. Parker came in, so we're going to cut him a piece of cake and see what he thinks. Say hey, everybody, hi to everybody.
Hey, y'all.
Y'all know Parker. Oh, what do you think about that, buddy? It's got pecans, and it's full of chocolate and marshmallows. There you go. Let's take a bite and tell everybody what we think. Go on up here so they can see you.
That was good.
Is that a winner? That is a winner. I'm glad he came in so he could taste it with me and y'all could see him. He's going to come back on with me some more, aren't you?
I will.
We're going to think of something that he can cook, and I'll be his sous chef. All right. Thanks for joining us today. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody. And I certainly hope you'll try this recipe. And let me know what you think. All right. We'll see you later. Bye.